should probably not.
Film here.
We can film, but
Be careful.
be careful.
What's the problem? We're going to this area where this man was kidnapped. We're gonna go.
This is the underbelly of the capital of the Mozambique.
So we just saw 3 police officers with AK-47s, right?
Yeah.
And you said you don't feel safe when you see them. Do you think it's an interesting concept that when you see police you feel unsafe?
Okay.
That's your seat. Oh, right, this is your spot. Yezo. And this is an area where I should hold my camera tight again?
Of course, yeah.
Broken down and the mechanic's actually underneath, fixing it while everybody on board waits.
We arrived in the red light district.
It's like in the morning and they're just here 24 hours a day, just waiting?
24 hours, yes.
Mozambique, the only country in the world with a fully automatic weapon on its flag. Natural beauty, massive gas reserves, rich culture and history. A country which has recently faced insurgencies.
The insurgency in Mozambique began in 2017. 700,000 have been displaced. Adrian Nell was in Mozambique building an accommodation block with his father and younger brother, but he was killed on Friday as they tried to make their escape from a hotel under attack by suspected Islamist insurgents.
This was an assault to send a message to the Mozambique government that it's far from over.
Major corruption.
Sitting in court as he's handed a 12-year jail sentence, the son of Mozambique's former president was among 11 people found guilty in a corruption case. It involved state-owned companies illicitly borrowing hundreds of millions of dollars from international banks, but the cash disappeared, and of using a $33 million bribe to buy luxury cars and a mansion in South Africa. The scam had plunged thousands of people into poverty across the country.
Hurricanes.
It's one of the most powerful tropical storms ever recorded in the southern hemisphere.
And left a trail of destruction.
Humanitarian crisis in Mozambique.
Forced out of their homes into flooded roads and pounded by torrential winds and rain.
Let's travel this country, meet the people and hear what they have to say about the current state of Mozambique.
The Mozambican government wants the world to see this.
We are fighting terrorism.
In southern Africa, Mozambique is contending.
Selling or drinking?
Defeat ISIS in Mozambique.
Since the war started.
With ISIS-linked fighters.
Welcome back to Maputo, capital city of Mozambique. We're gonna head downtown, go to some different areas today, but I just wanted to point something out that's quite interesting about the city here. You can see here we have Vladimir Lenin, political and revolutionary Russia. All around the city here they have streets named after certain famous people in the communist sector. So you'll have people like Kim Il-sung from North Korea. Because Mozambique does have a very strong communist history, you can see by the flag, I think that says everything. Very interesting piece of history here. We're about to head downtown. I'm here again today with my friend Edmilson, who's showing me around. And he's brought his cousin because he says it's better in this area. We're going to have more numbers and people with us. He said anything can happen.
Oh man, I'm passing Ocean Avenue.
Okay, so we've arrived downtown. We're here with Edmilson again today.
Yes.
How are you today, man?
I'm fine, man.
You good?
Yeah, I woke up well.
We're downtown, right? And this area you said is a bit uneasy?
Yeah, it's kind of uneasy. I mean, full of people, as you can see.
And this is an area where I should hold my camera tight again?
Of course, yeah, you have. You never know. People are opportunistic. They see the chance to do something, and they'll do it.
So there's lots of homelessness here?
Yes, unfortunately.
Is this more like we saw in the last video with heroin and drug use and things down here, or?
Not only that, that's not the main cause. I think it's people that come from the rural areas looking for better conditions here in the capital and end up in these conditions. They have nowhere to work. They have nowhere to be. And some people are just kids who ran away from home, you know, and they end up here in the streets.
People in rural areas looking for better opportunities that end up falling through the cracks like this.
Yes, this is the underbelly of the capital of the Mozambique. In this area, unfortunately, there's a lot of prostitution. The red light district is near here.
Oh, this is near the red light district.
Yeah.
And here's the Bank of Mozambique up here.
No, not filming. Yeah, this is the bank. Yeah.
Did that lady think we were filming her?
Yeah.
Right.
She works in the red light district, so this is one of the areas.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we should probably not
film here.
We can film, but you know,
be careful.
Be careful, like be subtle.
Behind us, there's a number of young ladies, right?
Unfortunately, this is their trade, and you know, we arrived in the red light district.
It's like in the morning, and they're just here 24 hours a day, just waiting.
24 hours, yes. And you can find young girls. You know, it's very sad. You see, 13, 15 year-old girls. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
What's your name?
My name is Izo.
Izo.
This is my name. Look it.
That's your seat. Oh, right, this is your spot. Izo. Right. So you're here, always here?
Always.
Right.
I grow here. I live here. I know everything about here.
Okay. Yeah. Is it nice here? You like it? You like living here in this place?
No, I don't like it. I like somebody to help me.
Why don't you like it? What's wrong?
Because when you stay in the street, it's not good.
Why?
I need somebody that to help me.
What's the problem?
My problem is because I'm a poor.
Poor, yeah.
I'm a poor. Just I try to make me happy, but my heart is not feeling.
Right.
I need somebody to help me. Even the police station, it never take us like help.
The police aren't nice to you?
It's not nice.
Right.
I want all of us live together. Even the cops, they have to.
Do you feel safe here? Seguro?
I'm not safe.
No?
I'm not safe.
No?
I'm not safe. It's just I
Why?
need the help.
What's the danger?
Oh, the danger because the cops don't work the way.
The police don't come and help here? No police here?
The cops, you like the criminal.
When criminals commit crimes against you know, when they rob tourists and stuff like that, the police just let them go, and then, you know, they pretend that they're arresting them and they go again, you know, and commit the same crimes. And Yizo is saying that it doesn't like that.
When you go here, maybe if it's something like that, that's to take you.
Oh, they grab the camera.
When you catch them, take the police station. It's the criminal go.
Okay. They apprehend the criminals, but they let them go, leave them to like go away and live their lives and commit crimes again.
So the criminals aren't being processed in the correct way.
Exactly.
You don't think?
There's no crime and punishment.
Obrigado.
No punishment for the
criminals. Yeah.
About the prostitution. Yeah. Do you know what's happened? Here is a market. This is a market.
There's a market.
For selling. For selling.
Selling. Yeah.
For selling sex.
What's the price for a prostitute? How much does it cost?
Okay, let me tell you. Yeah, in this street, Chilla is 100 medical. 100 medical.
Right.
But you use a condom. When you go there, is a 150. When you go there, 250. When you go there, 500. When you go there, 900.
This is the cheapest, and then it gets more expensive.
You know this streets here.
Come to see the come to shoot my street. Come.
Should I go?
I don't think we should go.
No.
I really don't trust it.
Right. Should we go?
Hey, Yezo.
You don't trust him?
No, you know, it's not him that I don't trust, but other people.
Right.
You never know, you know, what can happen.
You mean like pimps or something?
Yeah, pimps and, you know, robbers and stuff like that. Yeah, so I don't want to go to this kind of street.
So you think we should move on?
Yeah, I think we should move on.
All right.
Just go straight.
We're gonna go. Okay. I see.
It means, you know what that means?
What?
It means good death.
Good death.
Yeah.
There's a street called Good Death.
Yeah.
And that just happens to be the same street where the cheapest prostitutes are.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cheers, brother. All right. Love you. Bye. This is what the streets used to look back in the early 20th century. I just want to take a quick second out and say thank you to AG1 for sponsoring this video. This is a very natural sponsorship for me because I've been using AG1 for I think 4 years now, and now having the opportunity to work with them is great.
It's good. It's fresh.
AG1 is a daily vitamin drink with 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food source ingredients. AG1 sources the best and highest quality ingredients it can find. Gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo, vegan, keto, and less than 1 gram of naturally occurring sugar per serving. I drink AG1 literally every single day and have done for 4 years. The way I like to think of it is nutritional insurance, especially when I'm traveling in more remote areas and it's harder to get all the vitamins and nutrients to keep me feeling good. It's great to take with you traveling with the convenient travel packs, so you don't have to worry about missing the important vitamins and nutrients that you need every single day. This is easily one of my favorite products to travel with. It gives me a boost of energy and really helps with digestion and gut health. Head to my link in the description below to get a free 1-year supply of AG vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase of AG1.
It's good, it's fresh, it's AG1.
So you can see up here on the left, these are clothes from like charity, so maybe in your neighborhood you have some charity bins where you can donate clothes, and they say, you know, they go to Africa. But actually a lot of the time those clothes end up in markets like this, so who knows where these came from. New Zealand? Bom dia.
Bom dia, bom dia, bom dia.
Massive avocados here. Quanto?
100 mets.
For
yeah.
one?
No, for 4.
4.
It's $1.56.
These cost like $6 each in Europe.
You're kidding, right?
Yeah, and they're like a quarter of the size as well. Can I get 2? French.
Yeah.
Obrigado. So we've just come down to the train station. Beautiful colonial architecture here. But you could see that was an interesting area of the city. I don't know if you caught it, but the more around the corner you went, the more expensive the prostitutes got. Fascinating, and one of the prostitutes came out and she was asking us to like go with her down this alleyway. So we respectfully declined that. We're going to continue on. We're going to this area where this man was kidnapped recently, an entrepreneur. We're going to learn more about that story. So I'm going to jump in the car, get out of here, and learn more about this fascinating capital city of Mozambique. So this is a public bus here, and it's broken down, and the mechanic's actually underneath fixing it while everybody on board waits so that they can depart. What just happened?
Yeah, some guy got scared because he was counting money and we came like from behind.
Right.
So he was scared, you know.
He thought that we were going to rob him.
Yeah. So he started running.
I think that's the first time that I've been somewhere and somebody thought that I was going to rob them. It's normally the other way.
I mean, robbers got no colors, man.
So we just saw 3 police officers with AK-47s, right?
Yeah.
And you said you don't feel safe when you see them. Which, do you think it's an interesting concept that when you see police you feel unsafe?
Yeah, sometimes I feel unsafe because you never know if they're going to ask you anything or try to, like, I don't know, to be bribed because they can make something up. It happens sometimes.
I think that's like quite an interesting concept because we were just, you know, we were in the red light district and it felt a bit unsafe, but then when you see a police officer you felt more unsafe. What do you think of that as being like a local Mozambican and feeling like that in your own country? How does that make you feel?
I wouldn't say more unsafe, but you know, like I said, you know, they can make something up and then try to, you know, get a bribe or something. It's actually very bad that the people are scared of the police because it's not the way it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Police should be there to protect and serve, you know, and guarantee peace and tranquility. But most of the time, they do the opposite.
Edmilson, we've driven half an hour from the downtown area. We've come across into a different area.
Yes.
And behind us is Vanilla, which was it's a restaurant chain kind of cafe area in the city here. And this franchise in particular was the site of a kidnapping, you were saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, the criminals came from one of the side, and the owner of this franchise was actually sitting just outside, you know, just chilling, sitting.
So he's the owner of all the franchises?
Yes.
And he was at this one in particular?
Yeah, the kidnappers just came and snatched him, like took him to the car and then ran away.
In hope to hold him for ransom, or?
Yeah, they hold him for ransom, but he ended up dead. If they found him like 3 weeks after, and he was dead on the street.
And was the ransom paid?
No, I believe not.
And that's why they killed him?
Yeah, because, you know, the police didn't share as much information, I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, investigations and stuff, you never know if people were going to interfere, so sometimes they don't talk about this kind of stuff in the media. And actually, some women ended up being killed, and they were saying, you know, some people in social media, they were saying that it was retaliation for the death of the owner of this franchise.
You're saying the women were potentially the mothers of the kidnappers?
Yeah, that's what people were saying, but nothing was confirmed.
Did you say that kidnappings of wealthy people are quite common here?
Yeah, it's quite common,
How
especially among the entrepreneurs, the big business owners. Yeah, it's very common. If you're a rich guy, you need to be worried, you know, because they can come at any time and snatch you. And most of the time, no one is caught.
To be fair, I feel quite safe here. And I know a lot of tourists come to Mozambique, but then obviously, again, like we've spoken about, there's this kind of underbelly
of course, yeah, of crime and prostitution and drugs, like we witnessed in downtown and all over the places in town in the slums.
Okay, so we come into this local barber shop and we met the barber Philip. How has the country changed in the last 2 years?
Até que aí depois me ajudar a responder agora com a mudança.
A mudança socioeconômica. Things didn't really change, and even the business now is not very profitable as it was before.
Things did change then?
I mean, it did change, but not for the better.
How many years have you been doing this job for?
Bom, já tenho anos a fazer trabalho por.
I've been doing this work since 2002. I started doing this work in South Africa.
What's the difference between South Africa and Mozambique for living?
Há muita diferença mesmo. Há muita diferença.
He's saying that the difference is big. He says that with one haircut, he can buy some bread. When here, the money is not enough. Even with 2 haircuts, it's not enough to actually make a meal.
Right, so it's more opportunity in South Africa.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts of the government of Mozambique?
Eu acho que o governo moçambicano é que deve ajudar.
The government is not doing enough. You know, things are more expensive, and it doesn't seem that the government is willing to, you know, help the people, especially the youth.
Veja só, primeiro ponto, vou tocar nas escolas. Vou tocar nas escolas.
The kids, you know, they study in very bad conditions. In some schools, they don't even have a classroom, so they study like under a tree and stuff like that, sitting on the floor or on rocks. So that's not good for the development of the children. And that's what the government needs to tackle first.
Obrigado, Philip.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is our local contact here ahead of us, showing us around. It's good to have a local contact in these places. So we come into this local house and we've met a local woodworker here. He's making these beautiful doors.
Estava a trabalhar numa empresa aí, mas quando já.
He's been working with wood since 1953.
Really?
Yeah.
How is this for a business? Is this a successful business?
Ultimamente não há negócio.
Business nowadays are not very good for the woodworkers, because now people are building materials like chairs and doors out of plastic.
Do you prefer the times in the colonial times or now?
A climática é a única pessoa que faz.
There's no choosing, you know, God is the only one that chooses the times. If it's colonial or with the new regime, we have to be resilient and we have to create ways, you know, in order to survive.
Was life easier then than it is now?
Não posso dizer que sim ou não.
You can't say if there was better than now. It depends on what you do and how you do it to survive. And it's difficulties in all the times. There were difficulties there, and there are particular difficulties now.
Do you mind if I ask how old you are, sir?
85.
85 years old.
85?
85, yes.
And still working?
Yes,
That's
as we can see.
very impressive. And do you think you'll continue working for many more years?
Sim. Desde o momento que eu estou vivo, tenho que trabalhar.
Life is momentum?
He's saying yes, of course he's going to still, you know, do the work that he does.
You enjoy woodwork?
Sim.
See? Beautiful. I think it's very special that you can find something that you can do for 50 years and still love.
Pode entrar.
Obrigado.
It's beautiful.
Wow. This cabinet is made by him as well?
Sim.
Everything is made by him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pode ver o fitinho, não é?
Wow. And how much does one of these sell for?
Pelo menos 4.500.
Because of the materials, you know, the ending materials, which are very expensive, one of these chairs could cost more or less 3,000 to 4,000 mets.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really high quality.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the current government of this country? Because I imagine that you've seen this country go through many leaderships, so I think you'd be the man to share your opinion.
Por cada governo que entra,
It doesn't make a difference whether it's one government or another, as long as we can be happy and we just work and keep on moving.
Okay. Obrigado.
de nada, obrigado.
Thank you. Yeah. Edmilson, we just had a nice drink and something to eat there at the restaurant. It was a beautiful restaurant there on the beach.
Yeah, it's amazing. Here in Katembe, which is part of Maputo as well.
Yeah.
With the bridge connecting, extremely different contrast. Out here, you know, it's all sunny and beach and lots of good restaurants. People with money as well.
Because we came over that big bridge to the other side. And there's an interesting story about that bridge.
There is an interesting story because the Chinese actually built that bridge. It will cost us 75 years to pay it back.
So it's a debt trap, right?
Yeah, it's a debt trap.
Right.
Like the Chinese are doing everywhere, and they managed to do it in Mozambique as well. It shows that the government are not planning and they don't have a long-term plan. Because if you have that, you obviously do not fall in this kind of trap.
Yeah.
Because the others that will come will have to pay for that bridge, and they probably wouldn't use it. I saw something that it would be much more cheaper to build this bridge in another place. Not having the bridge, it would actually still help the community because of the ferries that we used to have. It helps with the mosaic of the city.
Local business people.
You know, the local business. And, you know, it's just beautiful, more interesting for tourists and stuff like that. With the bridge, it's not the same. The toll cost is just a fortune, man. Some people can't even afford it.
What's it been like for the past few days filming for you? Seeing these different places, you know, you were using the term invisible people. Has it been quite eye-opening to go into these areas for you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I've been in this country all my life, man. I've never seen something like this before.
Really?
We see poor people in television and stuff like that, but you know, to see it in person makes you remind what sort of a country we're living in.
And what sort of country are you living in?
Third world country.
Right.
That is faced with many difficulties. To blame people about it, you know, we can blame whatever we want to blame, like the government, such and such. But you know, us as Mozambicans as well, we need to try more, do more, you know, ask more for our government to do more.
You're like a middle class man. Would you say that you live in a bubble per se? Like that you have your own kind of routine, and you know, you might drive past some of these neighborhoods, but you would never really know what goes on behind the walls.
Definitely, it is that, you know, just no other way you described it like perfectly. We live in a bubble, some of us, and we don't get to see this kind of stuff, you know, because like I said before, these people are invisible to us sometimes.
Right. And do you think that there needs to be a more connection between the classes?
Yes, of course. And the government really needs to work in securing jobs and for young people. I mean, Mozambique is one of the youngest countries in the world.
Yeah.
I think that the average year is about 15 years old.
Okay.
So a lot of young people with no education, that's dangerous for the future.
And how do you see the future?
If it continues like this, we won't see this kind of things we're seeing now. It will be worse, definitely.
What do you mean, these kind of things?
The
poverty?
city, the poverty, the quality of life.
What do you think mainly needs to change for people to kind of realize and help out each other?
Education.
Education.
You know, that is the first thing. Because if you don't have people that actually are skillful, they don't have the tools to fight against poverty because they're not educated, there won't be any development.
Right.
And obviously that would only benefit the corrupt, you know, government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me today, exploring more of the capital city of Mozambique here. Definitely a land of contrasts, interesting. You can see behind me, nice restaurant, some really expensive cars here. Interesting spot here to end the day, Kim Il-sung Avenue. So in the next video, we're leaving the capital and we're going up to the north to the area where there's been some insurgencies from ISIS in recent history, issues there with terrorism and things like that. And we're going to go to a city up there where people have fled to escape terrorism. So yeah, not sure what we're going to find. I've heard that it can be quite strict up there with filming. So we're going to have to be careful. There's apparently a heavy military presence and police and everything. So interesting to learn more about this place. It's beautiful, really. You can see the landscapes and we're going to see more untouched nature. That's a big thing of this country, is the nature. And obviously the people who inhabit it. Great to have Ed Milson here. He's a wealth of knowledge and a really down-to-earth guy, as you can see. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.